Hello and welcome to episode number 80 of the Solo Gamer Podcast. My name is Ian, and here we are again. It's been a week just like that, and some things are constant. As you can see before us, you have three faces that you may recognize. One of these faces, Taylor. Taylor, I see your beautiful face. Welcome in, good sir.
Hello. Another week, gentlemen. Welcome.
It's a great little flag in the middle of the week. It's like TSG podcast recording time.
I know, right?
Must be halfway through.
That's actually, I never thought of it that way. It's kind of nice.
It is. It's like
it is
one of the
very
things
nice.
that gets me
Little,
through. It's like
little hump day flag.
yeah, exactly. Kyle, welcome to the show, good sir. Happy
you.
week.
Thank you.
TSG week.
It's been a good one.
Yeah.
Obviously over the weekend, with football and whatnot, and other than that, work's been pretty smooth. I would say it's been pretty good. I got a trip coming up, going to San Francisco this weekend. So
yeah.
Fun.
When do you fly out, my man?
Saturday morning, early, like 6 a.m., 6-ish, something
Cool.
like that.
All right.
Dude,
So you're gonna go to
yeah.
Seattle on Friday?
Yeah, I'm gonna head out right after work and crash out there, and then get up early and head on out. I think I'm gonna try to like swing by and maybe take a picture or take a look at the stadium.
Oh yeah, for sure. It'll be all
I
lit
think
up.
it'd be kind of I think it'd be kind of cool to go see it real quick. Before we go watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you'll be about a week out from Super Bowl 60. How nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a cool, nice, even number. Love that.
Yeah.
It's very memorable. Everyone, like the Broncos won Super Bowl 50. You get that nice, like, 10th number there is nice. What would be really cool is the Seahawks could win this. They would win Super Bowl 60 in their 50th year, which is kind of crazy.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Yeah, this is their 50th anniversary, which is why this year they've been wearing that little 50 patch on their jersey because they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. So they came into the league 10 years after the Super Bowl became a thing. It's kind of interesting.
Very
history
cool.
Of that stuff is cool. I love all that. I love all the history of how all that stuff comes together. Interesting. So that's fun. It's as far as like busyness for you guys, like how are you guys feeling about gaming lately? Because I have something to say about this, but like, are you playing a lot of stuff? Have you not gotten much chance? Like Taylor, like what's I know we're going to get into what you've been playing, but just generally, like over the last week or two, has it been kind of like an on time for you or kind of a slow time as far as playing games?
Honestly, it's been kind of a slower time, honestly. I'm not really using my time as wisely as I would like gaming wise. I feel like we have a really, really nice lull for this year at the beginning, and I haven't done a whole lot with it. I mean, in tracking sort of like stuff that's on my backlog, like I've completed 2 games this year, but I've had a solid like 2 weeks or so where I really haven't done a ton. So I'm really trying to like make peace with myself and say like, hey, it's okay to like go a whole week and not really play a whole lot other than like some of my comfort food stuff. But there's like that nagging thing in the back of my head that says like, you're wasting your time. You got to get something down. Like, we got a month and a half or so until Resident Evil. So like this would be a really good, nice time to knock something out, So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You need to be more responsible and play more video games.
Right.
That's kind of what the show makes it feel like.
Yeah.
There are times where I go to play something and I'm like, I should actually play this because then I can talk about it on the show. Because it's like kind of weird to show up to this. Like, I'm going to host this podcast about video games. I'm like, I haven't played any games. I don't really play games.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, you guys have got a good excuse. I mean, I also wanted to say, extending a congratulations to you both, Ian,
Thanks,
with your Seahawks going to the Super Bowl, Kyle,
Crazy.
for the Broncos putting up a great fight. But I know that you also follow the Seahawks as well, so congratulations to you guys. Excited to see them play.
One of my 2 teams made it, so can't
There you
complain
go.
too much, man. Most
Yeah,
of the
thanks,
time,
man.
none of my teams make it. So
Well, that's true for most fans and most
Yeah.
teams. Like that's what makes it so special, because it's like we were just talking about this. We recorded this week's episode of Bronco and the Hawk, and we were talking about that. About it's tough because you want them to win it so bad, but at the same time, take a page out of Taylor's book and just be present, because it's been 11 years since the Seahawks were last in the Super Bowl, and it could very easily be another 15 after this.
Mhm.
No matter how good they are, Mike McDonald could be a Hall of Fame head coach, and still it might be years and years and years before you're back there, because it's just so hard.
Dude.
So many things have to go right. You got to stay healthy, and you got to have the right play callers and the right players, and the contract situations have to, like, it's just all of these things in the universe have to line up for you to get there. It's just like, okay, don't stress out about that. Just enjoy it. You're here. It's crazy. You never get to see your team do this. Everywhere I go on YouTube is people talking about Seattle, which is nuts. No one ever talks about Seattle, so I'm just trying to enjoy it. I'm watching a ton of stuff. I don't feel as stressed as I did. I really wanted to beat the Rams.
It's funny. They make the Super Bowl, and everybody's like, "Wait, dude, there's a team in Seattle."
Yeah, honestly, that's what it's like. And some of the like the breakdowns and stuff are so funny. They're like, "Did you know that they have this guy named Nicky Manwari?" You're like, "Oh, wow.
Dude, yikes!
Oh, you've never watched a game before, have you? Wow." So, so it's a lot of fun. It's fun to see that, just that much talk happen, and discussion, and even then, it's like still a lot more Patriots talk than Seahawks talk, I've noticed so far. Like, even the video will be like, we'll be talking, like the video will be titled something Seattle Seahawks, and then I'll watch it, and like they'll talk about Seahawks for like a minute, and then they're just like, but
are we on the precipice?
And then they'll just talk about it's just like, God damn, all right, that's just how it is, man. So I'm soaking it up, and even if this is like, I'm at the point now where it's like, I am happy to be here. Of course, I'm desperate for them to win it, but if it doesn't happen, I feel like it's a pretty evenly matched game. Could go either way, and it's just great to be here. Like, it's still a notch in the belt. Getting to a Super Bowl is like almost as big of a deal as winning one. I just think about the Cleveland Browns, and I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier too. Is don't take it for granted, because you could be in a situation like my awful Arizona Cardinals, where we make one Super Bowl and then we're competitive for a little bit, and then it goes away and doesn't come back. So yeah, it happens.
It's crazy what it does to the city, right? Like, I bet Phoenix was just nuts that year.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy. What was I going to say earlier? One thing I was going to bring up is it's kind of crazy, like how much different media hits different regions of the country, because I feel like everywhere I've been seeing like word about everybody kind of pulling for the Seahawks, like I would almost guarantee you, come Super Bowl Sunday, somebody will post the infographic of like the famous, like, we get it every year for the Super Bowl, where it's like the rest of America is like, oh, Seahawk on like every state, and then like you get Boston as like in New England,
Massachusetts,
Maine,
like Vermont, Delaware, New Hampshire. Those will be the red little spot.
Yeah, everybody is just like begging on their hands and knees, please do not bring back this organization for another like decade and I'm pretty sure even if they won it, they probably wouldn't be another dynasty, at least you'd hope. But like, come on, man, just like, we're all tired of it, man.
It's funny. I did see one of those, but it was very different. It was like, what I've seen a lot of is, it's not anti-Seattle or pro New England, but it's like, it was a gray. The U.S. map was gray, and there was the state of Washington was green, and the state of Massachusetts was red, and the rest was gray. And it was like, the title was like, nobody cares about either of these teams. This is such a boring Super Bowl. I'm like, these are like the two best teams by far. We talking?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely.
Like I think as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why some guy who's watched like a handful of games throughout the year.
Right. Well, and that just goes back to it, right? It's like, I don't know, unless you pay an arm and a leg for Sunday Ticket and Red Zone like I do because I'm a poor slob that is just lets myself be completely taken advantage of. I get that you just wouldn't see it much, right? If you're just using local channels or whatever, like you wouldn't really see a whole lot. And I just don't really get being into football and like not even watching stuff on YouTube or whatever about people talking about sport. Like I don't know, it seems weird that all of this just kind of flows over people's heads and they're like, Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
Like, really? That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Like, yeah, you were not paying attention if that was your reaction.
It's funny that it's still a surprise too. It's like, I don't know. They've been good for a long time now. Like, for the most part, it's weird. It's just hard to get relevant, even in the modern world where technology makes communication instantaneous. There's still something to the geographic nature of living up here.
Yeah.
I put air quotes for those who are listening on the audio. It's just, it does have an effect. It really does, for whatever reason. Like if you're not within a 2-hour flight, people just don't really consider you. And I think it's actually been an advantage. So yeah, I don't know. It's fun to talk about, but I know that we have non-football people listening to this, so we don't want to keep going and bore them to absolute tears. Kyle, how about you, man? I mean, before you get into like what we've been playing, just kind of, have you had much chance to play much of anything? Have you spent any of your spare time getting to play games, or just lately, or have you just kind of been backed off as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting close to finishing Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
I think I'm on like the last like couple hours of it actually.
Oh wow, you went through that pretty quick. How many hours is a playthrough? I know you're probably kind of bombing through it because you've already played.
Yeah, I didn't really check it, but I would probably say a good 40-ish hours.
Okay.
Or so.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
that's still reasonable for a role-playing game.
Yeah, and the playthrough that I'm doing, I actually found, even though I was kind of messing around and doing like, I know I talked about it before, but I did like purely physical damage across the board with my team that I have this time, and it actually is relatively pretty easy. Because when everybody does the same damage type, you're able to break through and chunk them out quicker and like take out individual targets quicker because everybody's doing the same type of damage. Because every unit you're facing has like a certain amount of armor and a certain amount of magic resist or magic armor, they say. So in order to apply status effects like, crippling them or knocking them down or stunning them, you have to break either their magic shield or their armor. They have to go all the way down to 0. So when everybody on your team is doing physical damage, it allows me to break down their armor and actually start applying status effects quicker. So I'm realizing that if you just go hard in the paint in like one area, you actually become really effective in fights.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because if I were playing that, I would not have assumed that approach, right? I'm always trying to make sure that I've got synergy.
Yeah. You want to cover all the bases to make sure that you're versatile, but in this game it's like, no, just pick a lane and go really hard in that. Yeah. And you're gonna have a pretty good time. It's gonna be pretty easy. Huh. But of course that's if you're just trying to be efficient with it. Which wasn't my goal. I was just like, I want to do something different because I've played this so many times.
Yeah. Just have a different experience with it.
Yeah.
That's cool. What do you have any ideas at all, or have you thought about what you might start playing after you're done with Divinity?
So this is to kind of finish what we were talking about earlier. I know you were asking me if I've had enough time to play games, and I really haven't. I mean, this has just been like, when things are getting pretty slow at work and whatnot, and I'm kind of doing it in the background. It's a turn-based game. It's easy to do.
Sure.
So when it comes to that, I mean, what replaces that is either Total War or a slow-paced game like an Elder Scrolls game or something that I can play slowly. Oblivion. And just kind of pause it and put it down anytime I need to.
Yeah.
Or like another turn-based strategy. I've been feeling like I wanted to play Wasteland 3 again because I really like that game. So I might try to pick that up, or I don't know. It's got to be something, when it comes to that, it's got to be something that I don't need to pay attention to the story. So if I'm playing a new game, it's like I can't do that.
Right.
Because
Right.
I want to pay attention to what's happening, when it's that first time experiencing it.
Is Crusader Kings a type of game you could play in that instance?
There's no way.
It's
because
too detailed.
It's just and
addictive.
I could technically pause but it's just too addictive. I think that I wouldn't be doing my job. I'd be like, can you please hold? Actually, I need to finish this.
Hold on, my son just tried to poison me. I'll be right back with you.
I think that's a bit too dangerous of a game to try to play. But no, it's just I feel like, I've been taking the gym pretty seriously, and then we've got football and stuff, and just trying to consume as much content about that lately.
Yeah, that's really taken up time.
Yeah, it's felt like I don't like, because right after we get done with this, I'm going to the gym, and then I have to go right to bed, and then it's back to work, and so it's just felt like it's just back to back. My schedule's pretty tight, but
for sure, I think that's the hardest. Honestly, the hardest part of the whole gym thing has always been time. Not because I could never say I don't have time. I definitely have the time. It's like, what am I willing to sacrifice? But I've managed to come up so far with something that's been working for me, which is I take my lunch, because fortunately for me, my office at work is truly like a 2.5, maybe 4 minutes at worst from parking lot to parking lot, office to gym. It's right
so nice
there. And my house is really close too. It just happens to be all in the same part of town. So I don't have to spend 15 or 20 minutes of an hour lunch trekking there and then have to think about the 15 minutes it takes me to get home either. I'm within 5 minutes of everything or less. So I can clock out and be at the gym and like dressed in 10 minutes basically. And I get about 40 minutes at the gym. So I've been doing that like 3 or 4 times a week so that I don't have to try and do it after work when I'm just burned out and I'm home and my dogs are sleeping on my lap and I'm hanging out with Alicia and we're watching shows or whatever. I don't have to like get up and go do that. Yeah. And then I also don't have to go to bed at 9 p.m. in order to have enough sleep to wake up and go in the morning, which I like them. It's weird. I'm a weird contradictory. I'm like a walking contradiction. I really like getting up in the morning. I like early morning. I like the stillness and how quiet it is and making coffee and listening to a podcast and just like, I really enjoy that. I like seeing the light come up, especially this time of year when it's still dark, pretty late. I love everything about the morning. I just hate going to bed early.
Yeah.
I am like a night owl. I love sleeping, but I have a hard time. I'm not tired at 9 o'clock. I'm just not, no matter what. And I'll just like,
I'm right there with you,
force myself to go to sleep. Like, I was like, sleep.
So nope, I sit here for 15 minutes with my eyes closed. Something will happen.
But it'd be nice if you could just like unplug something and just go to bed,
Oh, dude, it'd be so great. I would be so much better about that if I knew that I could just immediately unplug and just instantly go to sleep. I've been taking like these little gummies that are like magnesium and melatonin. It's been really nice because it does help me. I do feel a lot sleepier over it. I don't feel like I'm getting drugged. Like I take them and I'm just like, and just
you're not like waking up like groggy or anything.
Not at all. And I don't even get it. It's not. It takes about an hour, so it's a nice slow. And I'm just lying in bed watching, football YouTube or whatever, and you have that kind of burny eye sensation and they're kind of heavy. It's like, oh man, like I actually could go to sleep right now. Yeah. I'm not wired. I'm not thinking about the heaviness of the world or the next football game or work or whatever is going on. I just down, it really does help a lot.
That makes all the difference.
It's tough because I don't want to get used to it and like resistant to it. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if it, will it become less effective over time and then I need it to fall asleep at all. So I always get worried about taking anything because it's like, what happens if I don't have it? Does that mean I won't be able to go to sleep? I don't know how the lack of it will affect me.
I think
So-
initially it would be a little bit of an issue, but I don't see how.
I almost think it
eventually
would
you'd
be.
figure it out.
I almost think it would be kind of a situation where you almost kind of train your body to induce that chemical without needing to actually take something. So it's almost like your body gets used to the routine of getting flushed with that melatonin or whatever, and maybe it like stimulates the production, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it does. It's got it in there, and it helps you go. And it's funny because people have different ways of falling asleep. They're like, "Oh, you should read." And it's like I get too into it, and then it's the same thing with like watching TV. I'll start reading The Witcher or whatever, and it's like 30 pages, and an hour plus later, or have 40 pages, whatever it is. I'm like, oh Jesus, I gotta go to bed. It's still just anything that it's like my brain is just like really wants to be occupied.
Dude, I know what'll do it.
9 to 11. What'll do
try
it?
Try to take the exam to get your liquor license.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that would probably put me to sleep.
I did that. That thing is grueling. It's multiple hours, and it's just dumb stuff the entire time.
Oh boy, yeah. I've definitely taken a few. I remember when I was young, I got caught on a red light camera, like barely. The ass of my car was still in the intersection when the light turned red. It's like my front wheels were like already past, like almost through the crosswalk, and they got me and cited me, and I didn't have to pay anything if I took a class. This was in Arizona, and the class was like 6 hours long, and it wasn't a class like actual attending in person. It was online. It was an online course, and it wasn't being taught by a real person. But it was one of those things where you couldn't skip through the prompts, or you had to let the person who has been recorded this. Traffic, when you go and look to your left, turn on your blinker. Like it was that slow, and they're reading through this thing. Man. And so you had to be there to like click past it once the reading was done. So you're just chained to this desk, and to the test after these long, excruciating, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. It's like lesson plans or whatever. Like the test would come up and be like, if the light is red, should you A, hit the gas, B, get out of your car, C, wait. It was so like, wait, you just gave me a 50-minute like talking lecture session to ask me these questions? It was nuts, man. But I didn't have to pay for the ticket, so it was probably worth it.
I guess that's a win.
A $350 ticket or whatever. Cost me an afternoon, basically. But
brutal, man.
It's crazy. Those.
I'd rather pay the ticket. I'm going to be honest,
dude. When you're making $7.75 an hour, $350 may as well be $3,500.
Yeah, how many hours is that? That's
because that was back in like 2012 or something like that. That I got hit with that. I was like 20 or 21, something like that. I was young.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like straight up just go right through like a red light.
Yeah,
it was green, and then it was yellow, and it was red. I pushed it a little bit.
Arizona must be different because in the state of Washington, I'm pretty sure that is legal.
Oh
yeah, I was like,
you're able to cross a red light as long as you have already crossed that your initial white line before it hits red. You're technically that's legal. So
whatever
it must be
the threshold
was,
I was like right on it because I remember kind of wanting to argue with it, and my mom was all mad. She's like, "You can't argue it. You're in the intersection." Like, all right. I mean, I was
joke around about traffic out here. It's kind of
there's a lot of bad fucking drivers in Arizona.
Yeah,
for sure. There are a lot of bad drivers anywhere you go, but I felt like Arizona had more like variety of different kinds of bad. There's pretty much two types of bad drivers in Washington. In Arizona, there's like every way that someone could be a bad driver imaginable because there's just so many people from so many different places. It feels like
there's a lot more bikes out there too, right?
Phoenix is not very bike friendly.
No.
Yeah,
Not very
I
bike-friendly.
wouldn't say so. No.
Phoenix is like very I don't know. It's very modern American anti-pedestrian
Urban sprawl.
Yeah, urban sprawl. I mean, there's sidewalks and crosswalks, of course, but there's not like a ton of like bike lanes and stuff, really, other than certain areas
in certain cities. Okay. Yeah, but by and large,
depends on the town. Yeah, for sure. And Seattle's not great either, but that's just because of the way, just because it was a logging camp, and then like I guess it's a city now. So it wasn't really ever meant to be what it turned out to be. It's built on this weird like sort of it's not an isthmus because it's connected to the whole state, but it's like there's there's two lakes on one side and then there's a sound on the other, and then it like kind of comes down between the water, and it's like this long strip of land with water on either side, and it's just everything is just crammed in there. It's an odd city, and just the way that this like why is this is one street and it's like 19 turns. How is it still the same road? You know,
right?
2 lanes. It's kind of confusing for sure. It's definitely not laid out in the way that makes sense. Like Phoenix is this piece of graph paper, but that's just because of where it is, right? Yeah, it's just a large, flat expanse of land. That's just not what Seattle is. They're just very different. Yeah, same to some of the points you guys made, right? The football stuff which we discussed kind of takes away from some of the time. I have been playing Fallout still slowly, a couple hours a week, maybe kind of more on the weekends. I've definitely had a little bit more time. I found this game though. I found this game on Steam. And it's like exactly kind of what I need right now, which is just sort of like a zone out. Just don't even really think about it. I just kind of need a not thinking game, a game that just completely wraps my attention and doesn't require very much of me at all. And I didn't know I needed it. I saw a clip of it somewhere, YouTube or something. Maybe Steam suggested it to me. It's called Dystopica. And
yeah, I've been interested to hear about this one.
It's made by a single guy, a single developer. I think it's like an Eastern European developer. And it's sort of like a sandbox city builder where it's a somewhat limited set of buildings and roadways and things of that nature. And you just build freely in this graph, and you kind of pick up the controls pretty quickly and how it works. And the more you build, like you keep unlocking new buildings, and you can adjust their height and where they are, and you can adjust where smaller buildings kind of appear and crop up, and you can create it's cyberpunk. It's like a dystopian sort of Blade Runner or Cyberpunk 2077 style. There's mega buildings, right? The big mega apartment buildings and stuff, and there's lots of different on the smaller details, you can pick all these different advertisements, neon lights and stuff like that. And you just build and build and build just to your heart's content. And as you keep building, more buildings get unlocked. I kind of want to start over again now that I kind of know how it works and build a city that makes a little more sense. But it's just got that classic sort of 80s synth noir saxophone music happening the whole time. And you can change the weather and the lighting, so it can be snowing or raining or thunderstorm or sandstorm. It can be morning, noon, or night, and it's just really kind of addicting. I've spent cool. 3 or 4 hours at a time the other night just playing it, and I kept unlocking new buildings. I did throw a screenshot from my city that I built into our Discord, because it's a really pretty game.
Yeah.
Because there's just not much going on. There's no management whatsoever.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. So you're not worried about power or taxes or infrastructure or citizen happiness or anything like that, right? Just like real cyberpunk cities. And so it's really just about the way it looks, and you just keep unlocking stuff and just seeing what's going to be the next thing that you unlock. And
Dude, it looks really cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's super. It took me like a half an hour to kind of pick up how it all worked. And then I kept building. And I'm like, okay, now that I kind of know the limits of how many buildings are in here, I might restart. I want to do a new city just to kind of
really
make
cool.
it even. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
the picture you showed me was awesome too.
Yeah, I was gonna say in that screenshot, there's even like a big like pyramid-looking building, like Tyrell Corporation type of building.
Yep.
Cool.
That was one of the buildings that I just kind of randomly unlocked as I was going along kind of later. And so I started to create districts in my mind of like, okay, so this is like the big fancy corpo district. And then there's these buildings that are more shambly looking, like something out of Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
You know, the sort of the where most normal people live. So I created like a corner there was like a giant wall, kind of a seawall, whatever you're assuming it's a seawall, like Blade Runner, where Los Angeles has to just build a giant wall by the ocean.
Yeah.
The ocean levels are so high that they'll flood the city. So they're like, well, we didn't fix the problem before we could, so we're just going to build a huge wall and keep the ocean on the other side. So I built this massive wall, and like all underneath the wall were all the shambly buildings covered in advertisements, and you can build little railway through the city, and the little trains are moving along the railway. And if you build roadways, there's cars, and then you can build these little it's kind of like Coruscant style. They're like triangular mounts that go on the top of buildings, and as soon as you build one of those mounts, it has flying traffic going through them. So you can build them all through strategically, and you can rotate them 360 degrees so they all link up. So you kind of have these like lanes of flying Coruscant style traffic through the buildings and stuff. It's just
so cool.
It's so easy and so fun, and it's just fun to look at, and it's I love the vibes, and just seeing all the building. Yeah, the big Tyrell style. You can get like smokestacks and stuff, and like build like an industrial area with all the gross smoke and flame like pouring out, and all the steam that comes out. We have this down in Wenatchee here. We have a series of buildings where a lot of the fruit packing industry is down by the river, and pretty much every night, especially in the winter, I don't know if it's like refrigeration system or something, and the heat is being excised, or like I don't know what's going on down there, but every night there's a huge cloud of steam that comes up, and they have there's like a little tower, just like almost like a cell tower that kind of comes up through it, because I think it's for planes to be able to make sure they're not too low and they don't actually run into stuff with the steam.
Yeah.
The steam is in their way or something, and it has a slowly red blinking light at the top. And every night around 11 p.m., 10 midnight. So if you're out on a weekend or whatever, this little metal spire with the glowing red light is coming out of the steam. It's so cyberpunk looking down there.
So cool.
With our little city around it, and I'm like, damn, that's such a nice vibe. I wish I had a game like that. And then I found this game. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
How cool.
That's been cool. It's been a lot.
I might have to check that out. That sounds fun.
It's cheap. It's dirt cheap. It was only a few dollars. Because it's like there's not really like a feature.
Yeah, I think I saw it was like $7.
Yeah, it's very, very cheap. It was made by one person, total indie developer.
Oh, that's cool. I like
which
that.
It makes it even more easy to give them some money. Yeah, really, really, really cool game. If you guys are interested if it looks cool for the listeners, check it out on Steam. It's well worth the handful of dollars. Taylor, what have you been playing? I see you put World of Warcraft down. So we're still pre-patch. When does midnight launch?
It launches in March, I believe.
Oh, okay. So we got a little while.
Right at the start of March, yeah. So people are just kind of gearing up for the new expansion. So they added like housing in the game and stuff like that. So people, I think right now are just trying to get to like base level, like max level their character, get the item level that you need to like really start the expansion. And then once the actual expansion comes out, like you should be good to go. But they have like a nice little catch up quest line that's kind of like the prelude to midnight. So I haven't done that just yet, but should be doing it kind of soon. I really wanted to jump in and start playing because they added this quality of life improvement to the game that at first I was really, really resistant to. And I've actually come to find it makes the game really, really fun. So, um, I don't know how much you guys have heard about this, but they basically added a single button rotation uh, to the game. So, for those that are like unfamiliar, in World of Warcraft, you have like a bunch of abilities that are tied to your class that you bind to different keys. So normally what it is like you have one hand on your mouse, you have the other on your keyboard, and you're usually kind of hovering around like keys 1 through 5. And essentially you get different abilities that your class can use that you add to a rotation. So it's kind of like in order to do the most damage or to tank the most damage, like you have a certain set of buttons you need to press at a different time, and they're all like on a cooldown. So it's like you press one button, you wait like a second, and then like you hit the other button. And so it's like kind of this weird dance of being super, super efficient with like your damage dealing or your tanking or your healing. So one of the things they did, and I don't know how this relates just yet on tanking and healing because I've only done damage so far, but they take all of your main combat skills and they bind it to one button. So that way you hit the button to do an ability, the cooldown goes through, and then you hit the same button again for the next ability. So it almost kind of like daisy chains your attacks together, so that way you're getting like this super efficient damage output.
And you decide the order in which those.
No, they do it automatically for you. So it's like you're already putting out the most efficient damage possible. So, like I said, I don't know how it relates to tanking and healing just yet, or if it's any different, and that's just for the attacks. And then they have other moves called interrupts. Like if you have a boss character or something who's doing like a wind up spell or something, you actually have the ability to interrupt his spell casting. And so those aren't chained to this rotation. So you're still getting the sensation of clicking different buttons when you need to in order to like utilize like all of your keyboard space. It's just that those like 6 to 8 abilities that you would normally have on different buttons are all binded to one key now. And they make it very, very streamlined. And so one of the things I was thinking of, or why I was kind of resistant to it at first, is because I was like, well, you're kind of like dumbing down the game.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But in reality, you're really not. And I think it allows you to focus a little bit better on like the actual like mechanics of the boss fight. So in World of Warcraft, a lot of the like boss mechanics that you have to worry about are all like movement based. And so sometimes it's really difficult for people to come into World of Warcraft because like it's difficult for them to like press those different buttons while also making sure like they're not standing in fire, or they're not like they're getting in the way of a mechanic that's like about to happen. So what Blizzard has kind of done to like make up for this is that they've made pretty much the content like a little bit harder across the board to like compensate for that. So you're not really getting any like the difficulty is not coming from you not knowing what your rotation is and getting the most like efficient damage out of it. It's just about how well can you memorize the mechanics and memorize the fights in order to do better. So it was really, really cool. Like I said, I was very kind of resistant to it at first as an old head World of Warcraft fan, because I was like, man, they're kind of dumbing it down. But I don't know. It kind of has made I think it's a really cool change, especially because they've upped the difficulty just in general. So I feel like the difficulty doesn't come from you just like hitting your buttons and not knowing like the nerdy min-maxing of like what ability to use after another. It more so comes from just learning the fights and learning the mechanics. And I think that makes it a lot more fun. And I also think it makes the game a little bit more accessible too. I feel like there would be a lot of people that could get into World of Warcraft now by simplifying this a lot. I think that the thing that intimidates a lot of people coming into the game is seeing those different button layouts and how many different abilities you have to hit in order to be like efficient and really min max it. And I think that they've done a really good job of like quality of lifing that up. So um, it's been really, really cool. I'll have to give it a try and report back on the tanking side of things. I've never actually healed in World of Warcraft before, but if it makes that a little bit easier to do, I think that would be fun. Um, but yeah, tanking and DPS is something I've always done, so I'm interested to see like how the tanking is handled for the most part.
Do you play mostly solo or do you play with people a lot?
Um, I go back and forth. I have like certain moments where I'll play mostly solo and do a lot of pickup groups, so like pickup raids and pickup dungeons and stuff like that. But I'll have kind of like a moment like midway through the expansion where I'll like get into a guild or something with like a friend who either has like a guild that he's already in or like one that he's looking to start up. So um, I like the social aspect of the game a lot too. So I think I might get into one before the expansion comes out, so that way I can ramp up with a bunch of people to do content with. But yeah, I kind of fluctuate. It's weird.
Yeah, no, it's not weird. I totally get that, and that's kind of the nice thing about a game like WoW is that it can give you both, just depending on what's going on with your friends or with you or what you're in the mood for. I mean, that's the good MMOs offer that ability.
Yeah. Well, they've made that easier to do too, which is great. Like they have cross faction guilds now. So now if you have a horde character, you can join a guild with alliance people and so on and so forth. There's cross faction raiding and dungeons as well. So like even for damage, which obviously like the most people are going to do, you can usually get into a group in like 5 minutes or less with that cross faction stuff going on. So they've just made it really simple and streamlined, and it's a lot of fun. Honestly, I really liked it.
Hell
I
yeah,
think that's
man.
really important with getting people to onboard into the game too, and that's definitely like been a major focus for Riot Games with League of Legends as well. Is just trying their best to find a way to make it somewhat easier for newbies. Because yeah, I mean you got to
It
keep people playing if you're gonna stick around as long as they have. So
Mm-hmm.
it's coming too. I just know, like, especially with this new change that they've implemented too, like the one button rotation, like they're definitely prepping us for a console release of World of Warcraft. Like, I would almost
That
bet money
makes
on it.
so much sense. Yeah,
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 that makes a lot
because
of sense.
now you could theoretically usually like I feel like a lot of mmos on console with like some exceptions here like I think like Elder Scrolls Online you could definitely play on console and have it really
Oh
not be
yeah.
that big of a deal. um the trouble with playing stuff like with Final Fantasy and like World of Warcraft that I could foresee is like you could do like little things here and there, like do your professions and get stuff done like while you're sitting on the couch, but like you're not going to be like high level rating or like even doing like mythic dungeons on a controller. So I think that this also makes the possibility of people playing a console version of World of Warcraft easier, and you can actually like do content like from a controller as well. So I don't know if it'll happen in midnight, but at least by the end or by the start of the expansion following this one, I think we'll definitely have a console version of WoW by then.
I feel like Xbox would want to push that kind of announcement onto one of their big stages, like their big June direct or game of the year like awards or game awards or whatever. Somewhere where there's a lot of eyes and it's a big deal. That definitely is a huge announcement.
Yeah,
So I feel like they'd save that one if they're gonna do it this year for one of those stages. I'd say most
yeah, I'd
likely.
agree.
Um, what you were mentioning earlier? What before Resident Evil comes out in February? We're in this lull, and you felt like you need to take advantage. Do you have anything that's up next on your list? Do you have an idea of what you're trying to get into next, or are you still deciding?
Yeah, I think I'm going to continue to plug away at some of the stuff I've been playing throughout the year, like Metaphor. I think I'll pick up playing a little bit more here and there. Oblivion. I think I'll be playing a little bit more. I've been in a really big Star Wars mood out of nowhere, so I think I might actually play Outlaws too, coming up
Nice.
soon.
I'm envious of you. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I don't know. I've just been wanting a third person, fun little action Star Wars game,
Yeah,
and I
that's
think that
perfect.
sounds like it'd be fun.
If you like it, you're gonna have to let me know because I did buy it for dirt cheap recently.
Yeah, I did too on
And
the sale, Steam sale.
I bought it on Xbox. It was I got it for very very cheap in the
Yeah.
super mega end of the year sale or whatever it was, Christmas sale. I think it was like $18 or something like that at one point for just the base game. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
I'll
Right.
pick that up and play it at some point for that. Um, cool. I was just kind of curious what you're trying to like if you'd had any idea of what you're going to try and play next, because like the end of football season is looming hard. It's right there.
Mhm.
It's a little over a week away, and then yeah, we just kind of have a lull. Early baseball season. It doesn't take up a ton of my time as we talked about last week. So it's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna have some sweet time here to kind of go. There's been a couple years in a row where I keep saying, all right, this is gonna be
Yeah.
this is gonna be the year of the PlayStation. I'm gonna start playing my PS5 again because I
Right.
just the poor little guy is just really neglected over there, and I'm behind on all the PS exclusives.
Yeah.
So I think part of that is because I started God of War Ragnarok and got a decent of the way through and I wasn't loving it. And so I'm in this weird spot where I'm like, do I go back to that to see if I can like get into it, or do I quit that and go to like Horizon or something,
Mm.
So I'm trying to decide on that. Um so okay, if people are listening that can't tell, we're not doing a topic today. We're just hanging out. We're just catching up. We're talking about whatever games we still got some great write-ins, and they were kind of fun because there was no guidelines whatsoever. They just write in whatever the hell you wanted to. I did want to just kind of while we're talking about what we're going to play or thinking about playing or currently playing, and PS5. One of the games on my list is Ghost of Yotei, and Lord of the Cream wrote in. And he said, finished Ghost of Yotei recently. Incredible game. Even better than Tsushima, Kyle.
Really?
Yeah, better than Tsushima, if you ask me. It feels more like a Western, which I thought was really cool. Now I'm juggling a few smaller games. I'm back to Metal Gear Solid, a little more than halfway through the second one, and loving it. I also am a little bit into Dispatch. I've heard a lot about this game.
Me too.
Also a little bit into Dispatch, which has been a fun, chill game when I don't want to think or try too hard. I just started up Gears of War on the PS5 the other night. I remember him telling us about this. First time playing through the campaign. I know, it's so gross. Like, can you imagine? You might like hit square to chainsaw. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Not much to say about that yet, but let's give it a shout out to the active reload mechanic introduced in Gears, where you time the line just right for the high risk, high reward reload. Ugh. So many games have adopted this since. Even in Deadlock, there's an item at the store you can buy called Active Reload that implements it. I've also been using my VR headset a lot more lately, having fun with the Beat Saber and Super Hot. I love Super Hot. I was just playing Super Hot the other night, actually. I'm open to VR game suggestions if you guys have any. I need to use my VR more.
Yeah.
Super Hot's like the only game I've played on there, and it's so fun. I fucking love that game.
VR games. Yeah. Shoot. Well, let me get you on that, dude.
Yeah, Kyle is the Mr. VR for sure. I mean, at least when it comes to between the three of us.
Oh, what's the name of that game?
I know. I was just talking to Cream Lord the other day that I want to whenever the hardware drops for Steam, I do want to get their little VR headset because I think it'll be pretty competitively priced. So I think I might jump in whenever it comes out.
Hell yeah.
Let me
Steam Frame.
I'm going to
it's
figure
called.
this out.
Oh yeah. All right, he's gonna look into that.
Yeah. We can move on to the next one, but I've got you, Cream Lord.
Dude,
Yeah, all
there's
good.
there's a VR RPG that everybody has been talking about lately that apparently is really good.
Dude, I think I picked that game up when I bought my VR. I was all pumped about it, and then haven't played it. I haven't played that shit at all.
Which one are we talking about?
I'm gonna look it up here.
Remember.
So I can tell you for sure that you need to play Vader Immortal, episodes 1 through 3. The one that I really enjoyed was Red Matter. Was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I gotta play that one. Taylor, is it
Asgard's
Asgard's Wrath too?
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Oh yeah, I played that a little bit. That's more of a it's pretty heavy like action RPG. Not much to the story, but pretty cool.
Yeah, people were saying it was pretty good.
It has really good reviews. Like really good reviews.
It's a lot of fun. That's for sure.
It's funny with the VR stuff. Like I don't.
Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Like Red Matter's like kind of got that spacey vibe. You play like a scientist that has to investigate, a lab where something went wrong, and just the time period and the aesthetic of it all. It's got like a creepy eeriness to it as well throughout the story. So definitely recommend Red Matter. That's a really fun game.
That sounds
very
sick.
interactive.
I need to play that for sure.
But yeah, definitely have to play Vader Immortal, episodes 1 through 3. That's definitely a must.
It's pretty cool. I have played some of that.
Yeah.
That was the last game I was playing on VR where like I was upset because I kind of wanted to I was getting into it and I was liking it, but I got hit with really bad motion sickness and I just ended up getting really hot. And I put it down and never went back to it, but it was really, really cool of what I played of it.
Do you play sitting down?
No, I think the last time I was playing standing up.
Okay, I recommend getting in like a computer chair so you can rotate around. Sitting down, and then you can adjust the settings to where, so you can make it to where when you change the direction that you're looking, you can make it to where it either skips to where you'll hit left and then it skips to the left, and then you hit left again and it skips to the left, or you can make it to where it's like a smooth motion. And so changing between that and figuring out what feels better for you. Typically, if you have it on smooth turn, it's gonna give you that like motion sickness. That's what I like playing on, but like I definitely know that like that's where most people get hit with motion sickness, is having those smooth motions. If you make it like more of a jagged thing that your brain can kind of wrap around and realize that it's not,
like process it in small bits.
Yeah. Because that's, I mean, really at the end of the day, it's like it's the motion part that's getting you, and like for instance, when you like walk with the left analog and you're like your feet are walking but you're not actually walking, that one definitely still kind of gets me a little bit. My brain will sometimes feel like I'm falling,
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely recommend that. But the nice thing about the Vader game though is there's not a lot of movement. You're not moving around. You're standing still and like sword fighting essentially the whole time. So, a lot of those scenes are mostly you standing in one spot and just using your saber to defend yourself and using the horse. So, but yeah, definitely recommend that. And then there was another one I was gonna check out, which I'll have to pull that one up later. That it looks really cool. I'm just totally into like, specifically with VR, like get me in space and give me a cool story, because that is so cool in VR.
Dude, I really want to try Elite Dangerous in VR. I think cool.
Rogue, not Rogue, but whatever, Star Wars Squadrons would be sick.
Yeah.
To play that in VR. You'd have to have like a badass VR headset and PC and all that.
Flight stick too.
Oh, we gotta have dude, can you imagine?
Dude. Sick.
Just quit my job.
That was part of one of the reasons why I think I dropped Squadrons. I was like, this seems really, really cool. I would love to play this with like a dope flight stick and VR headset.
I finished the story because it was short and it was fun.
I'm trying to think. There's
it would have been something else.
I'm gonna go to. Anyways, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna shout them out as I go.
Okay.
I'm excited about this one.
What was the Ian, when you were reading the write-in earlier, you mentioned something about Ghosts of Yote. Did you disagree with this opinion?
No, it's one of Kyle's favorite games, and
yeah, that's definitely that's pretty high praise if you think it's better, because that, to me, the only way it can be better is if the story is that good, and if that's the case, then I'm pretty excited to play it.
I've been hearing that a lot. I think a lot of the people I've heard talk about it have said that Yotei is better. But
I'm
I
definitely gonna
agree.
play it.
I'm kind of skeptical. I'm like, Tsushima is a high bar to clear, man. I loved that
Yeah,
game.
I don't even want to hear it, to be honest. Like, I'm glad you feel that way, but I'm not even gonna go down that road.
At least not yet. But
I'm
dude,
just gonna piss myself off if it's not as good. That's all
would
I'm
you have
saying.
said the same thing about Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 though? Like before you'd played Part 2? Because I think Part 2 is better in like every possible conceivable way.
It is, yeah.
100%.
They managed to do it. And that would be cool. What I heard was that the only kind of, I don't really know anyone personally that played it other than Lord of the Cream, of course, but most of like the just kind of quick snippets of reviews and things like that I saw were just saying it's good. It's just a lot like, it's just kind of like Tsushima again with a different character, like a different protagonist and a few new gameplay additions, but it's pretty much the same thing, which to me is totally fine.
Yeah.
If it's better, that's great. If it's as good, that's also amazing. If it's slightly less amazing because it feels a little bit like retread, I'd still probably really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for when you get into it. Yeah, she's talking about this is like, okay, I really need to get back to PS5. I need to get back to my PlayStation as soon as I finish Fallout New Vegas. I think I'm gonna make the jump. I'm probably gonna try to get back into God of War because I just feel like you two are the only people so far that I know that have played it that we all kind of have the same feelings about it. And then, but it's like so greatly like highly regarded and reviewed and stuff. It's like, God, it must get so good later.
It's good.
I hope so.
That's how I'll put it. It's good. You know,
it's good.
Like,
Is it worth finishing?
Yeah, it's definitely worth finishing.
Okay. Part of me,
But
is like,
it's
been like 2 years. I might even have to restart, to be honest.
It's just, I don't know. I feel this weird thing. I'd love to hear what you think about it as you play through more of these, like the second installments. But pretty much every PlayStation specific like IP, like the second game, I have not been a fan of. Like I have like thought the first one was always like far and away the better one. And like they're still good, don't get me wrong, but like I don't know, just maybe it was just at the time when I played some of those first ones, like the first God of War just like hit so much harder. The first Spider-Man I think is like not a million times better, but it's definitely better than the second one. Yeah, I don't know.
I found it.
The Horizon, I think Horizon Zero Dawn's better than the second one too.
Than Forbidden West.
But out of all the second installments, I think that Forbidden West might be my favorite.
Okay.
So
yeah, part of me was like thinking about just going back and playing them in order of release, which I think Forbidden West would be first on that.
Yeah.
As far as like the big PlayStation games. So I might actually do that next and then play that through the end of the winter because it's kind of a longer game. And then I heard someone say the DLC was really good too. So
I haven't played the DLC.
I'll make sure to just get that right off the bat so I don't even know the difference, you know. And then just whatever release, I'll just play them through release order. That's kind of my goal this year is to get through as many PS5 games. I need to like get caught back up on everything. It feels like I'm just way behind on that stuff. Kyle, you found some VR titles?
It's called Lone Echo. Something that I've been wanting to play. I haven't actually played it, but it looks like again, it's another game in space. But it just seems like right up my alley.
That looks cool.
Yeah. And
did they show this at the Game Awards? Or am I thinking of something else?
Maybe, yeah.
No, this is an older game.
Oh,
okay. Never mind.
Yeah, both of these have been out for a little while. In fact, these came out before the MetaQuest 3 came out.
Oh, wow, okay.
But a lot of these games are like very story driven and more like you're just kind of in the environment, kind of like a walking sim, but it's VR, so it's cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more interactive.
It's more interactive, and there's like puzzles that you need to solve to like kind of gain ground on the story. So I've really enjoyed games like that. Red Matter's a lot like that, where you're solving puzzles, and you know the scenery is obviously incredible. But Lone Echo looks like a really, really fun game, and there's two of them.
Cool.
So
Beautiful looking game, actually. It's pretty.
Yeah. Looks really nice. Good reviews too, it looks like.
Yeah. So stuff like that. Check them out if you're wanting to play like an RPG.
Yeah, apparently. Let's see here. We have some more write-ins as well. We also have a few things to discuss, but let's go through here. Steel and Souls, he wrote in. He said, I have been playing a lot of Path of Exile 2. In working on a solo self-found character, you can only use gear you find or craft, no trading with other players. I really enjoy the game quite a lot with its mix of builds. Did you guys ever play Path of Exile?
No, I didn't play the PoE 2. How much is it now? Because the reason why
It's
it
like
was because of the
$30.
price point in the beginning.
Yeah, it's technically in early access right now. It's like $30 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Path of Exile 2. It is very, very good. It's a little bit like more confusing though, which is kind of one of the. It's a weird trade off because I really, really love the build crafting in the game, but the way that they do their skill trees and the way they do their skills is very confusing. So I've played it for like probably like 2 or 3 hours and played through like a little bit of that first act, and it's very, very good. It's definitely harder than Diablo, but I found the skill system to be a little confusing and a tad bit overwhelming. So, but it is very, very good.
Yeah, PoE seems like, at least the first one, when I played the first one, it was like, all right, I'm just going to look up a build because this is too much.
Yeah, well, it's like, and the skill tree is like massive too. It's like,
yeah, and it goes in every which direction.
And you like, it's like you zoom out and it's like you see like just like a little smattering of it, and then you like zoom out with your scroll wheel, and it's like sprawling and massive, and you're like, I have no idea where I'm going.
Well, there's a lot of people. I myself, I really get into this sort of stuff where it's like you see a skill tree and it's like that's where the fun is.
Yeah,
but that's definitely beyond my capabilities. I just look up a build because there's definitely smarter people out there that just crush that stuff.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I'm never very good at that. I've never been a min-max guy. I'm just not. I lose my motivation. I can get too far down the rabbit hole, and then I'm like, I'm not even having fun anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I'm not even playing the game. I'm just sitting here figuring out how to build.
Yeah, exactly. The write-in continued to kind of a separate section here. So that's why I wanted to talk about Path of Exile first before we read the second half of that question. Steel and Souls also asks, also a question I have for you all since I started late with watching each kind of one of our newer listeners / watchers. What made you all want to start a podcast together to begin with? What makes it so enjoyable for you all and keeps you continuing with it? That's a really good question, actually. I don't think we've ever actually talked about this at any point.
I don't think we've ever been asked that, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like every now and then doing an episode where we don't have a topic, because it's like you get interesting write-ins that really wouldn't come in otherwise, and you just kind of get to chat about whatever the hell's going on. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So this particular I've been listening to all kinds of podcasts. I'm a huge fan of I kind of go for half of the year. I listen to gaming podcasts, and then those kind of go away. And the other half of the year, I listen to football podcasts, and I just switch and I swing back and forth. So obviously, I'm in the football one now, but I became a really big fan of Colin Moriarty's and Greg Miller's back when they first left IGN, and like, what was that, like 2017 or something, 2016. Something like that. Like, they were the biggest names at IGN, and then they left. The two of them together, best friends. They were just hilarious, and Colin's vast knowledge of the industry, not just like his experience playing video games, but the business and the politics and stuff behind developing games and publishing games was just so fast. I've learned so much from him, and I would always get into these conversations, especially with Taylor and with Kyle, like on our own when we were just hanging out. We would always talk about this stuff on its own, And you just kind of realize, sometimes you realize in your life, like you talk about stuff and it's like, I actually know a good amount about this. I think about it all the time. And the podcast is kind of like a way to just get that out there and share it with others. And then people can tell you what they think. And you kind of just, I don't know, it's just like a Socratic circle. I don't know if you guys ever did that in school. I did that in my honors English class in like 10th grade. Learned about a Socratic circle. And you all sit in a big circle and have a conversation about a book or whatever that you read. And it goes all kinds of places. It's really, really interesting places. You learn about people because you're learning about how their opinions form and what they value in a story or what they value in a video game or whatever it is. So I always had wanted to do a podcast inspired by my favorite podcasters. And I started one with a very good friend of mine, Arthur, who we were in bands, a couple different bands together when I lived in Arizona. And because I always thought his takes were hilarious. And so he's like, he'd be the funny guy and I'd be the guy who knew stuff. It was kind of like the original. So like, and we would play games and we would do game reviews and just talk about whatever. So we started doing that like right before COVID, and it ended up proving to be like an amazing thing through COVID. Like every week, we look forward to getting on there and seeing Arthur and talking to Arthur and recording a show. And but he moved and had kids, and life got crazy. And so, like the first person I thought of was like Taylor. Taylor and I talk games for hours and hours and hours at a time. Every time we hang out, like Taylor and I became friends when we were working at Discover Card, and he like joined my team. And somehow, some way, we started talking about Mass Effect. I think.
Yeah, I was like shadowing you. It was funny.
Yeah, you were like shadowing my calls or whatever, but it was like a slow day, and somehow I was just like, "Do you play games or something?" And it just whatever. It just came up.
Fucking yeah, I do.
Hell yeah, and that was that. We've been great friends ever since. And so I was like, I got to see if Taylor's interested, and of course you were, because you listen to a lot of the same podcasts that I do. What's funny about it is it's the podcasting thing is kind of like football. In that, yes, I love football, and I do love the doing of the podcasting and the editing and the posting, the reviewing, like all that stuff is a lot of fun. But ultimately, I think the reason it's stuck is because it's just like an excuse to be able to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
because like life just gets in the way, and if I feel like I have to do something, like a sort of obligatory, like people, there's actually a small handful of people that listen to this show every week. And they notice when we don't put it up.
Yeah.
Like that to me will motivate me a lot more than if it's just me doing something for the sake of it. And then just hanging out with you guys. Like we probably would not talk nearly as much if we didn't have this show. So it's kind of a combination of like getting to spend time with you guys and talk about the thing that we enjoy doing the most. Taylor, like what was the reason, like when I came a knocking?
Yeah.
What excited you about it? Like, why did you want to join and start doing it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, when you had first asked me to join the show, it was kind of one of the easiest like yeses ever. I'd always kind of wanted to get into some kind of content creation around video games. I think even before I was a fan of podcasting, I was a really big fan of like YouTube guys who would just do like video essays and kind of break down their opinions. Not only that, but I've also been like a big film fan for a long time too. So there's a lot of people in like the film side of things on podcasting that I've followed for many, many years. And so I kind of wanted to do that sort of thing, but just for video games, because it's just the medium that I'm the most passionate about. And I feel like I'm the most knowledgeable on. So it was just kind of one of those things where I was like so into it. And this will be funny for people to look up because it's still out there. But we actually did other content creation before the Solo Gamer, you and me, Ian, on our channel called Zero HP.
And Kevin and Mason, the four of us.
Kevin and Mason, yep. So the famous streamers now.
Dude, some of those like some of those old videos are still up there, and every now and then I will go check them out. And just
Me
be like,
too.
Oh my god!
It's such a cool little time capsule too. I remember Cream Lord I was talking to about this like on the side because I think I'd showed him some of our stuff like a long time ago, but I had like a memory lane moment where I was looking up our old 0 HP stuff and looking at our game of the year conversations and your and Mason's reactions to like E3 and stuff. It's just like some of that stuff is just really, really cool. So if you want to see us 10 years ago doing, video game content creation, go check that out because it's really, really
I might
cool
have to
stuff.
go check those out actually.
Yeah.
I started a side show with Mason because Mason had like never seen any movies. This is where I'm showing the guys this freaking YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's still up. We had 121 subscribers though,
Which
to
is
be real.
awesome. Yeah.
But that's kind of crazy actually.
right.
And then we have like I got this little thing. It's nuts. This is like before this picture. I think it's like before you kind of joined in, Taylor, because we didn't even update some of this stuff. But we had a side show with Mason to just because he had never seen like any movie in his life. Like every time I'd be like, "Well, you've seen this, right?" And he's like, "No," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I just couldn't believe he hadn't seen anything. So we like watched everything, like Star Wars. I mean, he hadn't seen anything, nothing. So we started a show called Mason Missed It, and it was just
Nice.
and it was like his review of movies and stuff. And we did Let's Plays. There's their podcast, and we did a 0 HP podcast. We did like look at some of these pictures,
Dude,
man.
some of those
Oh my
PUBG Twitch highlights.
Oh, dude, the PUBG Twitch, dude, that was like the start of Mason and Kevin doing their Twitch channels, which are huge now, by the way.
Yeah. Some of those are fun to go back and watch too, dude. Just us
yes.
like just getting in hairy situations and just dying horribly and just
I would love to
laughing.
start doing some of that again with you guys, like playing some games. Like I really been wanting to play like Dark Tide and stuff.
Oh,
I think it'd be really fun to record. We did our Game of the Year award show. Remember, I did these like crazy. I started really practicing my video editing skills, and like for the Game of the Year show, I would do like a collage set to a music, and I would have like the cuts and transitions would be to the rhythm of the song and stuff. And I had so much fun with that. Just so many. I have one in here somewhere of like it's only like a couple minutes long, and it's like just a bunch of clips of Kevin getting annihilated in Battlefield 1 over and over again. and he just keeps dying. He's like, oh, fuck.
Oh man, I could watch that all day.
Dude, it's
Kevin's
so
hilarious.
good. I will I'll send you some of these so you can check them out, but just good times, man. Just looking back on that stuff. It's funny.
We had our Star Wars show too at that time. That was fun.
Yeah, what was that Star Wars show called?
Called it the Holocron.
Was it the Holocron? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, but that was back when Disney had just bought Star Wars and they were just like starting to tease Episode 7, and we were like, and EA was about to make the first Battlefront. We didn't know how bad things were about to get, and we were like, hell yeah.
There was hope, yeah.
Dude, okay. There is part of me, guys. It's only 1 minute and 46 seconds. I think we need to watch this. It's so good. So this is just the video won't be great for you guys, but this is just 1 minute and 40 seconds of me editing together Kevin dying in Battlefield 1. The title of the video is Kevin's expletive-packed Battlefield 1 death compilation.
Oh yes.
What a title.
I just loved editing. You got to turn this up. And you can hear, let me know if it's too loud for you guys on your end. But you can hear, all of our friends in here, Chris and everyone that we played. I was trying to make sure that it was a good quality here because it's at 720. I guess that's all we can get it at.
I think I got
720 days.
Oh yeah, I got sniped.
All right, flank him out.
Oh fuck!
I revived you, Kevin.
I'm down again.
Oh, fuck.
I lit one for. Oh, someone's being an asshole and teabagging me.
Dude, that was such a fun game too.
Yeah, it
Well, we
was.
spawn on you guys as
Oh
long as you're under fire.
shit! Oh shit! Oh my god!
Nice.
Son of a fucking bitch!
Spawn on me and Chris. Spawn on me and Chris. We're going after D.
Oh shit, Kevin!
Oh, shit.
There's
I'm
one guy right
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry. Oh, there's too many.
guys.
There's too many.
It starts to
Oh,
like
holy
ramp
shit.
up here.
There's like
There's
so
a
many.
Yeah.
entire squad right there.
All right, hurry up. I have no
Coming
ammo.
behind the train,
Oh,
behind the train.
shit.
There's a bunch of them.
That fucking field gun
Who is that with
destroyed
you
me.
guys? I know it's you and Kevin.
Oh, gas.
Chris.
Gas.
Oh,
okay.
somebody-
Oh, god damn it. I got killed again, dude. Fuck. North
The
side,
opposite
north
side of us. I saw him down there. They're
Oh.
crouching and you can't.
Field
They
gun.
go prone. You can't see 'em.
Watch out!
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck! I just
Careful,
spawned and
Kevin.
got killed again.
Behind you.
Oh,
Kevin.
oh, shit.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh my gosh.
I just spawned.
Ah,
Okay.
Dude, that was the last big Battlefield game that I was like really into.
There's bunker out, boys. Woohoo!
Clear this bunker out, boys.
Grenade!
He calls
Dude.
grenade as he's getting blown into bits.
Dude, playing video games with Kevin, multiplayer games with Kevin is just such a blast, man.
Oh man.
He's so funny.
I know. Oh shit. The next video started playing. It was super loud. Anyway, that was just a little funny clip of that. But
That's awesome.
yeah, good times. I have been kind of in the mood to play a multiplayer game with you guys, like a cooperative. Whether it be I was just texting Kyle and my nephew Riley and I were just texting about Helldivers. I bought Dark Tide on sale. Like, I don't know, just something like that sounds like a lot of fun.
Dude, yeah, I'd be down.
Kyle, so the way this kind of slowly started building, because then when Taylor and I started the show, we I think I was the one who, because I moved and then things got really crazy when I was going back and forth between Wenatchee and Seattle all the time when I was living in the Seattle area. And then so I think I ended up quitting, basically just saying I had to take a break. And you, Taylor, you kept it going.
Yeah. Me and Craig,
then,
I think, at the time.
And then we talked about it for a really long time, bringing it back. And just, it was always just like, too busy. Just like, I don't think I can do it. I don't have time. And then, Kyle, I know that's when I started to bring it up to you. What do you get out of it? Like, what made you want to join us every week and do this with us?
Not a damn thing.
the cash money that we make.
These guys pay me
I'm here
so
to collect
much.
my paycheck and leave.
I got $2 million in guarantees.
You signed him to a healthy contract.
Oh man, no, yeah. I obviously, I came in. I'm the last piece to the puzzle here, and Ian and I had been, we just spend so much time either, like watching like YouTube videos of like video game content or football content together. So it's just always been like, dude, we just talk about this all the damn time. Like, why don't we, get TSG back up and like I'll join you and stuff. So it just had been a conversation for a long time. What, like
2 years?
2 years or something like
Felt
that.
like we were just kind of like dreaming, just sort of talking about it. Because I
Yeah.
would play games. I would play a game and I would have like, God, I really want you to play this. Or we both would play it. Like, I really want to talk about this game with you guys. And there's
Yeah.
no real natural way to do that unless you're doing what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the reality of it for me, of like what made me want to do all of this is just kind of realizing that we're already doing this. If we don't have a microphone in front of us and a camera, like truly this is like, I don't know what else we talk about, to be honest.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
mean-
if you got all three of us in a room, like the conversation would most likely just be this anyways.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it'd be like video games, football, food. And then
Yeah.
depending on how long, we might get into heavier stuff eventually.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But it would take a long time before
Dude,
we got
it'd be
around to
like,
stuff.
It'd be like 12 hours in, like, so how you doing, man?
Yeah. Exactly.
You doing
Exactly.
okay? No. But yeah, dude, it's pretty easy decision. That's the way I kind of view it. Of, this is kind of like a good way, especially as we're getting older. I think all of us are realizing it's, for some reason, like the days seem to be getting shorter. I don't know how that works, but you just feel like you don't have time for anything. So yeah, forcing like an event that you have to attend all the time. Not that it's like hard to like hang out with you guys by any means.
No,
but
you wouldn't do it otherwise. I wouldn't.
Yeah. And so like making that a thing that you feel obligated in a sense to go to, and especially now we've got a pretty good crew of people who write in, and yeah, they look forward to our episodes and stuff, which is really awesome to have that feeling and like that sense of responsibility in a sense. And so we do look forward to like interacting with you guys and interacting with each other, and it's just like a good way like to, in your busy life, make yourself have time for your friends and talk about the things that you like talking about. So I think that's what makes it enjoyable for me, is just being able to hang out with you guys and the people that write in, and like, and just making sure that we have that time like once a week that we have to do that. Because again, like I feel like if you don't do that, you end up spending months not talking to the people that you should be talking to.
Yeah. It is amazing. I mean, I've got family that I love very much that I don't talk to as much as I talk to you guys, and that's because of this, right? It's like this is the reason. I also enjoy. I don't often listen to our episodes like right after we post them, but I do find myself occasionally will go back and I'll just sift through them.
Yeah.
And I'll see one that's about a game or a topic or whatever, and I'll be like, oh man, I remember having a fun time recording that, and I'll listen to it. So it's also one of those things where it's like, it helps me enjoy games more, I think.
Yeah.
I am always thinking, when I'm playing video games, I'm thinking about them through a prism of like what I want to say about it and like what I think you guys would think of it.
Same.
And it helps me remember the games that I play, I think, a little more, because I talk about them on here and I've got them recorded. And because I'm thinking about it and considering it in that context, I actually think I sort of get a little bit more out of playing games.
Oh,
which
totally
is weird and kind of cool.
Yeah.
You feel that way too?
Yeah, I love that process of like playing something and almost kind of like note taking while I'm doing it, to like remember key pieces of it, remembering like the story or like the themes. Like I love shit like that. It's part of one of the reasons why I love doing like the experience point type stuff too, is just I love thinking critically about a game, and there's a time and place, and it's also fun just to like experience something and then just kind of like, okay, I'm done with it. But I kind of like that. I just love that aspect of analyzing it. I think that's fun to me,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, me too. It definitely. I think it's keeping my brain from getting old.
Yeah,
in a certain way. What was
Great
the
question,
one
man?
more? Yeah, really, really good question. Thank you very much for asking that. That got us off on a tangent a little bit. And it's fun. We haven't even really thought about that. And one thing that's crazy too, because Kyle, you were just mentioning the fact that we do have a small group that likes to come in and watch or listen and comment and stuff, and they actually like people are actually waiting for our episode to come out. We haven't even. I've done no work to like spread this podcast, like none.
I know,
The amount of stuff we could do with clips and TikTok and Instagram Reels and social media, like all of that is stuff that's like I haven't even
scratched the surface.
Haven't even touched yet. I mean, Taylor, you and I talked about having you kind of do some of that, and we haven't even. I will say I am going to be a bachelor for like an entire week, the week after the Super Bowl. Which means I'm just going to have more time on my hands, I think, because I just won't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
Other than like hang out with my dogs. So that would be a good time to do that, to get you the passwords, get you all logged in and stuff. And
yeah,
it would be really cool if we could start, and I should do it too. I'm not very good about spending the time. I've been considering the kind of the YouTube aspect, getting more. I did start to mess around with like recording games. I haven't done it in a while, so I was messing around with OBS to get it to look right and stuff, and I haven't done it yet. But I do have those thoughts a lot about pushing into that 0 HP territory.
Yeah.
Of videos, and if we wanted to if we wanted to record our playthroughs, our play sessions and stuff of multiplayer games. Like it'd be cool to like branch out a little bit more and start pushing the brand a little bit, because we don't even try to. At this point, we haven't even begun that process whatsoever.
Yeah.
We did get one more write-in from Miles. He says, "Hello, TSG. Lately, I've been getting back into Overwatch. Man, I haven't played that in a long time.
Yeah.
Playing that with friends and enjoying the new stadium mode. It's a fun way to kill a few hours. Otherwise, I'm still playing Halo Infinite. Really looking forward to Forza Horizon 6, hoping that Playground Games gets this one correct." There was a couple games they showed. We're actually wanting to talk about Fable later, here probably pretty soon. Forza Horizon 6 was another one that Xbox showed off. Taylor, it sounded like you were pretty excited for that.
Dude, yeah. I'm actually like a relatively new Forza fan. I just played Forza Horizon 5 when they released it on Game Pass a couple years ago, and like tried it on a whim. I was like, I'm not really a car guy. I'm not really a racing guy, but it's a car game that's pretty well regarded that's on Game Pass. I was like, I'll just download it and try it out. And I actually ended up having a lot more fun with it than I think I realized I would. So, I probably put maybe like 15 hours into it or something like that. So not a ton of time, but I thought it was good enough for me to like get into it and even maybe think like, hey, maybe I could get into some more serious racing games. I've always kind of fancied myself a little bit more of a fan of like arcade racers too. So like
Me too.
the motorsport stuff and like Gran Turismo, while like it looks really pretty and beautiful, like I think it breaches a little bit too much into the simulation that I'm not really looking for. So, but yeah, Xbox showed off that Forza Horizon 6, and first off, it's in Japan. So, I mean, like that's automatically going to be the big like lure to get me in there. Just drifting around like super scenic cherry blossom, roads and super cyberpunk-esque like nightlife.
Tokyo.
Yeah, like lit up streets, like that aesthetic sounds so cool. There's already a big like street racing scene and stuff like that in Japan and stuff. So it kind of seemed like one of those locations where I was like, I know as soon as they set a game there, like I'm going to be in for it. So it looks really, really cool.
Yeah, and Horizon is cool because it is, to your point, it is more arcadey. It's more about having fun. It's not super realistic physics and stuff like that. I tried to get into that. I tried to get into Forza Horizon 5. I felt like I needed a little more like motivation. Like it's kind of like open world and just go race. And I was like, okay, well, what? I want to maybe get into it. The Japan really does get me excited because, pardon me, it seems like they're going to put more of an emphasis into like Japanese car culture, and I am a big I'm a big Honda and Subaru guy. I'm not a car guy. Like I don't know a lot about cars like some people who really do, but I would say I know a little bit more than maybe the average person. It's something that I got really into for a little while when I was actually looking to buy a new car. I was doing a ton of YouTube research, and then because of the way YouTube works, because I was doing that, I started getting more and more car stuff, and I got into like watching Top Gear, and those guys are so funny, and learning about the history of cars and like the history of these brands. I get so into that stuff. Just like we were talking about football earlier with the history of these franchises and the teams and the coaches and like where they came from and how they got there and all that stuff. It's the same thing with these brands. And I've been grown up in a Subaru family. Like my family's first car was a Subaru Outback that I grew up in, and I have a Subaru Crosstrek, and so I really I love WRX and I love Honda Civics, Type R's, and all that stuff. I love that
like a Honda Civic too.
So that kind of stuff for me is more like I'm more into that than I am like a Ferrari or something like that. I'm not.
Yeah.
I just they're like slightly more attainable and they're cool. So the fact that they're gonna get into like Japanese car culture, I think is really neat and it would probably draw me in a little bit more. So I'm definitely eyeing it for sure. Kyle,
Yeah.
have you ever played any of the Forza Horizon games, or like when was the last racing game you played?
I think it was like a Need for Speed. I don't know which one because there's like a million of them.
There's so many, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I got more into which I honestly haven't played a whole lot of Forza to say, so I really can't say that it does have this or not. You can kind of help me out here, but I really got into more of like the story mode and like kind of like the RPG elements of like being able to craft your car and like really kind of modify it in a specific way. So I don't know if Forza's like that at all. It seems like more of a racing sim to me, but yeah, it seems really cool. And obviously there's a lot of things you could do with like just the graphics of it, and like there's, like you were saying, Taylor, like being able to drive in like a night city like that sounds like incredible. But no, I haven't really played a whole lot of Forza, which is funny because you always get the like free game when you get like the new PlayStation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it is funny. They used to do that all the time. It'd be like Gran Turismo or something, like the old Gran Turismo with the new PlayStation. Forza has like two different. So there's Forza Motorsport is their simulator, like their really hyper realistic, hardcore racing sim game.
Yeah.
And then Forza Horizon is their like open world, just have fun, much more arcadey, accessible version. So they have two versions for two different. I
didn't know they had two versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're totally different games. Like they're like different development teams.
Oh my god! How long have these been around, and I'm just now figuring this out?
Well, you and I have never been big racing guys. Forza Horizon's been around. I mean, the first one. Let's see, Forza Horizon 1. Forza Horizon came out in 2012 for the 360.
That's a relatively new franchise.
Yeah, so I mean, Forza Motorsport's been around a lot longer than that. So Forza Horizon was kind of their first like toe dip. That's kind of their answer to Need for Speed and other similar kind of arcade race, Burnout, stuff like that. So yeah, I part of me kind of wants to get into it. That one I might jump in on that one. Are you going to buy it, Taylor, or do you pay for Game Pass Ultimate?
Yeah, I paid for Game Pass on console.
Okay, but if you have Ultimate, you would get the $30 one. You would get Horizon right off the bat on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe I would try that. If you really, really like it, maybe that would be... Because it's coming out this year, right?
Yeah.
They were both coming out. Forza Horizon 6, right? Forza Horizon 6... wait, is it 6? Yeah. Release date, 2026. May 19th of this year.
Yeah. So I'll definitely play it.
I just want to finish up Miles' write-in here. When the two write-ins have had like two separate parts, I don't want to just skip over the first thing they say because of the next part. Okay, Miles, these questions are huge, and we're already like an hour and a half into this thing, so we're probably not going to be able to like fully jump into this, but these are probably worthy of some topics at some point. So he asks, what do you think is going on at Ubisoft? Are they cooked? So we could probably spend an entire episode talking about this. They are cooked, I think. What is going on at Ubisoft? It's so many different things. They had to sell off their profitable IP to a Chinese super company. I think it was Tencent. Was it Tencent that bought them?
Was it
Tencent?
Was it Chinese or what is it? Saudi?
Oh, I thought it was Saudi.
It was Chinese. No, it's Chinese. Ubisoft.
Oh, then if it's Chinese, it's probably Tencent. They're buying everything.
Yeah, it's
they own Riot Games.
EA is the one who's sold out to the Saudi crown.
That's right.
Right.
Ubisoft, basically what they did, so this was like because they were about to lay a bunch of people off and things were not going well. They took all of their IP, the good IP, the Assassin's Creed is the big one, a few others, anything that actually still generates profit, and they licensed those IP through a new like shell company that was sort of like next to Ubisoft. I don't know what they called it. And then Tencent agreed to fund that company so that to keep them afloat. I'm pretty sure it's Tencent. It's a giant. It's one of the big like Chinese mega corporations.
Yeah.
And then the rest of Ubisoft is basically like a sinking ship on fire. They've canceled 7 games in development, including the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake that was like 3.5 years into development and nearly finished. One of the voice actresses on the project said that she found out that it was canceled by seeing the news article pop up that it was canceled. So they canceled it without even like saying anything to anyone. They didn't even tell anyone before they announced that it was canceled. So people who worked on that for 4+ years are just out of a job. They're asking over 200 employees to quit so they don't have to lay them off. It's a French company, French Canadian and French. They have both, and they are heavily unionized, so they can't really do that. So there's going to be a massive like legal battle over the fate of this, what's left of their company. They're done. They're. I don't think Ubisoft as we know it is going to exist in the next 2 or 3 years. Would probably be my guess.
Dang.
Their Paris headquarters. If they're firing people in Paris, which is their like core central place, like it's their headquarters of their whole company. No, not looking good. What else happened? There's so much stuff that's been going on there that I'm not even sure. Their stock. This is per IGN. Ubisoft stock plunged by 40%. Following an announcement that they were going to delay 7 games that were currently in development, including an unannounced title set for launch within the next 2 months that is widely expected to be the company's under wraps Assassin's Creed Black Flag remaster. So they are in huge, massive trouble. They are a ship on fire and sinking into the water at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really horrible. The games industry is just a mess. It's an absolute mess. So we could go into way more detail than that, but we probably don't have time. And then his next question, like just casually, is, and do you have any hope that the Elder Scrolls 6 will be good? Miles, we're going to do an episode about this at some point. I think it would be really fun to do like a
absolutely could
like a Starfield Bethesda Game Studios
State of Bethesda or something,
retrospective / state of the union kind of thing, like and really get into Elder Scrolls 6, maybe do a little research on like what has come out. I think there was like a leak recently about some details about Elder Scrolls 6. It'd be kind of cool to check some of that stuff out. So we will do that. That is a topic for us that we are going to do. So don't you worry. But that's way too big. We will be here for a long time if we try and answer that right now. So we'll do that. We'll do that for you. He said, I need some copium for my favorite franchise. Brother, I hear you on that. It is
my mind was racing when I read that, and I was just like, oh man, I could just do that forever. So
yeah, we'll dedicate an entire episode to that. We'll do it soon, since you asked. Let's close it out just with a few thoughts. I would love to hear what you guys think on the recent gameplay reveal that Xbox showed from Fable. I've been down and out on everything Xbox and just gaming. Any new gaming announcement, it seems like it's just been bad after bad after bad. This was pretty refreshing, actually. I want to hear your thoughts, Taylor. What did you feel when you saw the Fable announcement, and if you have any history with the series, what is it?
Yeah, really excited for this game, and I thought that Playground Games had a really, really good showcase on this. I would encourage anybody who hasn't seen it yet to go check it out. It's the newest Xbox Developer Direct, and it was the very last game that they showed, so go check it out. But yeah, in short, I think the game looks awesome. I think it's a super, super pretty looking game. I think it's an Unreal Engine, I want to say.
Okay.
So it looks really, really nice. But don't have a whole lot of history with Fable as a series. I remember going back to like Fable 1 and 2. Like I had like a couple friends in high school and stuff who were really excited about it and who were kind of into it. And I remember as a high schooler kind of thinking it looked a little too goofy for me. There was something about like the aesthetic that just felt a little bit too like cartoony and
Kitty.
like, yeah, like there was just something about it. Although I've heard since then, like obviously it's chock full of like really, really good like British humor.
Oh yeah.
And I think that a lot of that stuff shone through in this trailer. Like I know a lot of people have been talking about there's a moment where they're talking about like the tax system in the game where you like become like the sheriff of like a city or something like that, or you end up like controlling like the financial aspect of this town or whatever, and like people will call you like a rich twat, and it has like a title next to your name and stuff. So it seems really, really cool. The mechanics, like the gameplay itself seems really fun. It seems really fluid and kind of similar third person combat to like something like The Witcher kind of seems like. A lot of use of like throwing items and parrying and dodging and stuff like that. So it looks really, really good. Never had any history with Fable beforehand, but I think this is what I'll definitely jump into. It looks really, really good. I mean, Playground couldn't have come up with a better showcase for it. So
yeah, I think they did an excellent job showing off their vision for it. It was nice to finally see it. We've been seeing CGI videos of this game for years and years and years, so it was nice to see the actual game.
Yeah, I remember people thinking that it might not even come out or that it might get canceled too.
Well,
so
I mean,
I'm glad they kind of shut everybody up.
Yeah, and then dropped the release date too for this year. So I think that's awesome. Kyle, what were your thoughts when you saw this? I don't know if you've ever played any Fable games or not, but have you
been
ever
a while?
played any?
I like a little bit. I've watched my friends play it, and my friends talk to me about it and stuff. I don't know why. For some reason, I never got too into it when I was younger. But there are some things that like really stick out to you about Fable that's really unique. You know, with the romance and the way that the kind of universe just feels really like it's alive in a sense, which is something that really stood out to me about this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where it's like, this is not your typical RPG where you're like playing like a hero that has like missions to do to like just kind of go through the story. This really feels like it's just kind of like your own playground of like, you know, be who you want to be. I like the idea of being able to like, if you decide to like be really involved in the business side of things in the city and like hire people, fire people. I love that you can like evict somebody and like find them homeless
be a landlord.
Later. Yeah. I'm just like, that seems so cool. And then they hate you for it. They're like, oh, here's this scumbag, you know?
Yeah. The reputation mechanics.
I sleep on the street thanks to you.
It's so cool how that works. And then like I love the morality scale that they're putting into the game, because every decision you make obviously has an impact, but it's not just black and white like in most games where it's like there's good and there's evil choices. This is definitely more of a gray area where, you know, you do something that is like a really dick move to one person, but somebody else in the city actually thinks that you did the right thing, and they actually, you know, envy you for that and actually think that you did the right thing. And so they might actually think that even though you're an asshole in that situation, that it was deservedly so, and they're actually more gravitated towards you. So it's like everything it just kind of depends on who you're talking to and their perspective on what is good or bad. So I thought that was kind of a unique take on it, is like, let's make this a little bit more realistic, you know, like if you like to like, I don't know, something ridiculous, like just like in the video you saw him like kicking chickens, you know, which seems
that's a
like
classic Fable.
Yeah. But like somebody out there like is just like, yeah, fuck them chickens, you know? And so then like now you're like that guy's like your friend now, you know? So
and then there's someone else who's like, animal abuse.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah. So the world just seems so alive, you know, you could just spend your time, which is what Fable has always been known for. You can spend your time just being in the city, just living this like, you know, alternate life in this game. And it's like, it just feels so alive. So I really love the idea of that. I'm glad that they fixed the issue of, because it looked like in the beginning that they were not going to have character creation, which seemed really weird for Fable. So I think that they definitely took that feedback and was like immediately fixed that. But yeah, I think that's the part that kind of like stood out to me the most. The combat seems fun. Hopefully the story is pretty good too. But even if it's not, as long as they can like nail those parts of like just interacting with people within the city, I think I would play that game.
Do you have any feeling like you might want to dive back to some of the older games and try them out?
I've tried some of them. Unless they remake those, probably not.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting.
They feel a bit outdated to me.
There was a 360 remaster of Fable 1, but even that I was like having a hard time like really getting into it. I don't know why. Taylor, do you think you're going to try and maybe play any of the Fable games before this comes out?
Yeah, I might. I don't know if I would go into it to finish it, but I think I would probably play 2. 2 seems kind of the sweet spot between being maybe a little bit more modern while also being kind of like the one that's like critically praised the most. So I think maybe just to jump in and get a little bit more of an idea of what like Fable really is, I might jump into 2 or 3. I feel like people don't really like 3 all that much, it sounds like, on the consensus. But
yeah, people didn't.
But 2 or 3 for sure, I'd be interested in checking out.
Okay, yeah, maybe I would do the same. I mean, I don't know that it's really going to matter, like story wise. I'm sure they'll have plenty of
probably not
references and stuff for old school fans, but I don't know. It just feels like we as in just people who play video games just kind of need a win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and this game just looks like it's actually going to try and do something unique and different, and offer a reactive world. A lot of the examples you guys gave are really good ones about what sets it apart from other role playing games where you're getting into the business and the landlord, and you're powerful and rich, and you can get married and divorce, and sort of this like life sim stuff where the world people are saying things to you as you walk by, and they're whispering about you and your reputation or whatever maybe you have achieved or crimes you've committed. And just I love the idea of the world being a little bit more reactive to you. I've always wanted that out of more of these kind of open world RPGs like the Elder Scrolls and stuff. As much as I love Elder Scrolls so much, I feel like they've always really struggled with that. It's like I should be this rich and powerful and hyper influential person now that I've saved the world, and it's just like nothing really changes after after there. Like the best part of Oblivion for me when I was first playing it was that you got a statue of your whatever you're wearing when you come out of the Great Gate,
right?
Which I thought was super cool. And I loved that sort of reactivity of like, whoa, that's my character in his armor. That's really awesome that they did that. So I just think that was really cool, and I'm not ashamed to admit I'm actually excited. I feel like I've just been so down on games lately, and just like it probably isn't going to be good, or I gotta wait and see it. And of course, that's still the case. Maybe it won't be as good as it looks, but I am actually hopeful, and I hope that doesn't burn
me. Me too.
Yeah, it seems like this is. I think you can kind of relate to this, but I'm like watching it, and I'm like, oh, these all seem really great, but then I feel like I'm just so traumatized now that I see all that, and I'm like, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this all seems cool, but it all seems way too complicated, for what we're used to getting, like content-wise. And so I hope they deliver, but I'm totally prepared for it to not be as good as it seems.
Me too.
Well, fortunately, Xbox doesn't have a great track record, so
no, horrible track record as far as the publisher goes. They've had a rocky time. But this game has been in development for a long time, and they seem like the developers seemed like they're really pumped about it and excited to show it off. And a lot of the times I just see some of this stuff, I'm just like, okay, looks like kind of another game that was you guys kind of shat out as quick as you could, and it just does not feel that way. It looks like they're just. I believed in the developers when they were. It didn't come off as like cheesy, like they were reading lines off a screen. Like
Right.
they were clearly pre-written lines, but they just the people who were sharing it. There's so many different kinds of people, and they were all just really excited about the different aspects that they got to introduce. And it's like I love that. I love seeing these devs
And,
just
like,
being like pumped.
I feel like as they introduced like the different mechanics and things that they're putting into the game, they actually had gameplay clips. They immediately followed it to show it.
Mhm.
They weren't just saying that this was in their game, you know, which
Right.
makes a difference. Like,
Yes, absolutely. It's a great point.
I liked that they also seem to have had a reverence too for like the older games. Like there were a couple times in that press conference where they shouted out the original developer Lionhead and kind of making sure to keep the spirit of the originals kind of in there somewhere. So yeah, it seems like a passionate group of people.
And I
Which, of
love
course, Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say, I kind of like the art style. It kind of makes me. I don't know why I keep going back to this. Maybe I'm totally off on this, but I get like kind of like the animation art style like of Shrek vibes. You know?
Yeah.
Like
for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely.
it really feels like that. You know, it's kind of not too serious, but then has those elements of like kind of a medieval vibe to it, and
With like
but it's
some
like-
comedy infusion.
yeah. You'd see like some weird like they showed those like weird like goblin dudes that are just kind of silly in the woods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, those they were talking about them like they were a very beloved and there's beloved enemy from the original games, like grunts from Halo. You know,
Yeah.
like people just love killing them and hearing what they have to say and the sounds they make and stuff. Just cool. Yeah,
I like
really
it.
Cool.
It's got a cool vibe about it. So
Yeah, it gives
so
me
far I like it.
the vibe of like the old illustrated Hansel and Gretel
Jack
era.
and the Beanstalk.
Jack
type.
and the Beans. Yes, like that
Yeah.
era of very old school fairy tales, fables, right? I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
literally the name of the game. So yeah, it's cool. It's unique. It's distinct. It's actually trying to innovate in a industry that has just not really done much of that over the last 10, 15 years. So for better or worse, they've got me excited about a game that's not out yet. So here we
Right.
go. We'll see. If people are really digging it, I'll probably buy it and play it. So it's coming out. I think they said autumn, like October or something like that. So
Yeah, something like that.
that's cool. That'll be a good time.
I think
for
it was a release window, so it was
Yeah.
like autumn of this year.
Hopefully it's early October, and that way they're out for a decent amount of time before GTA 6 drops in November.
You're right.
That's kind of like a nuclear warhead landing and detonating.
Yeah.
So awesome. Was there anything else that we didn't cover that you guys wanted to talk about at all before we sign it off for the evening?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Heck yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I actually had a blast doing this. we didn't plan on this. We were texting back and forth this afternoon, like, what should we do? And I just felt bad because I'm like, I don't want to drop another topic on the day of recording. Like, let's actually plan ahead. So you guys, we're gonna have some topics planned ahead. We're gonna get that decided.
Yeah.
Taylor's been doing a good job of prompting us and sending us ideas. So we'll do that, and we'll have topics in advance, and we can actually prepare for them. Sounds like we might have some hot takes, which will be fun. Come up with some things that are going to piss people off.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear
cool.
what Kyle has to say.
Yeah, I know. Me too. It's funny you say that because I do. I like I'm going to give you some time, Kyle, to think about this because I feel like you might have a couple in there that we're. I think a Bethesda episode would be a blast, and speculate about Elder Scrolls 6. We'll do a little YouTube research on what's going on with that, and just talk about Bethesda as a whole. And we'll go from there, and of course just keep talking about all the games we're playing and working on Arcane. Been watching through that, so we're gonna have a TSG experience point episode for that. So that's kind of our near future over the next month or so. So we're excited to have you guys listening along and keep bringing these write-ins. They're excellent. They are inspiring. We love seeing them, and we're just really happy you're taking the time to hang out with us every week. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will catch you later.
See you guys. Stay
See
safe.
you guys.